Good morning, favorite rambling redhead here. How you doing today? It's another beautiful day here out on the property. Just coming over to check on the chickens, make sure they are happy-go-luckies. Little warbirds over here. Morning, girls. Already getting to work. You can see they were there for 2 days. Already worked through all the grass and started to till in there, so we moved them over this morning. And we've been busy. So last night I don't record on Sundays intentionally. So last night we smoked a chicken after church, or yesterday afternoon, I guess. So I smoked a whole chicken. That was good. Came out delicious. And during the week and in last week's video, we finished this side of the roof. Don't mind the stuff that's on those 3 panels. It's like powder that was on it in the store. I don't really know what it is, but we are supposed to get rain Wednesday evening, Thursday, possibly some more snow, which is why we decided we had to go ahead and bite the bullet and get this stuff purchased so we could get it up there. But we also got this side on. So I got to get that last panel there at the end. I have to do that from the porch just because of the slope of this roof. I can't stand on the roof while I work on it without toe boards, and I can't have toe boards there if that's where the roof is going to be. So I'm gonna have to get up on the ladder and get that done. Deacon's going to get the last 2 rows of screws all the way down this side because he'll do those from the ladder. And then after he gets that in, our roof will be done. I will have to probably go up there with some flashing tape on each end of that ridge cap and just put some flashing tape on the ends of it because we have ordered the gable trims to go right here. So we'll wrap around that segment there, like that end cap on the shop over there does. But they're on back order and won't be here until March. So I'm just going to cover up the end of that ridge cap, just make sure nothing blows up under there. I've also started to get this all blocked in. It looks terrible. But that will give us places to put all from everything to mount for the ends of the ceiling, or the ceiling to land on, and for all the beadboard on this wall that'll go up. That'll have a place for it to all mount to. Like I said, we have about half the living room done. We got to get some more baffles for this side. So we finished that living room. But I have this R11. So this is actually basement wall insulation that's going to go on that wall. We'll pack it full of insulation up there behind the beadboard. And then I have the cutoffs because of the length. These are just shy of 40 feet long. The strips for the roof, and I don't quite need the whole thing, obviously. So we end up with this little 4-foot section. So those are going to go in this big cavity against the back wall because Drake's loft does not go all the way back. So this will have a whole bunch of insulation in it as well. But we are almost to the point where we can get started on ceiling in here. That'll be next week because I think this weekend we are going to go and pick up the insulation and finish, and the baffles, and finish at least that side, possibly this side as well, and that'll be the next big thing. I did realize that I still have to get my blocking in for my cabinet, so there's got to be wood boards. They'll be in here somewhere or another that I can screw all the cabinets into as well. So that'll be a little project that I can do to fill in some time also. But yeah, so we're gonna get started on finishing up this roof structure. Thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing, and thanks for joining us. Alrighty guys, well it's been a little bit and I've been in here working. Had Deacon go ahead and start putting in my exterior outlets. So I can probably set better from the outside. So that's where one will go, and then the other one's going to go here. He went to go help his grandfather putting an 8N back to get pulled the motor apart on, but I've also got all the furring done up there. So you have 2 layers of material here. You have these strips that bring it out flush with this surface of the wall so that the beadboard can run up flush. And then you have these other boards. Wow, higher here. These guys up here that are in line with the rest of the truss structure to allow for, as our ceiling comes across here, for it to have a place to land. So I was able to do this without cutting into any more of the lumber that I have under the house. It's still new. This is all stuff that's either cut-offs excess or pieces that I took down, because I took down the last of these beams there over Drake's loft, so when we put his ladder in, he can get up there without smacking his head on it. And it just came right over here. So me and my wife are going to start trying to get this insulation up here. See how that goes. Alright guys, well, got a bunch more done. So we got, this wall is all insulated. It'll get insulation across the bottoms there, and maybe another layer, honestly, when we do the actual covering that goes on it, but I don't have anything to hold it on right now. But I got a little bit more of that insulation left in here. And I got the framing up in here, and the box for the light, so this room will actually get our first light put in it. Got that done. Got some more great stuff foaming done. I had a gap on each side of the house right there, so I foamed that spot up there that had been missed, and then the corners there where the end walls or the sheathing ends got foamed. So we got done today. It's been a super productive day. Tomorrow we're going to get the ceiling up inside this utility room, and I'm going to get the electrical box on this side and get both of these front lights wired. We do still have to go get the wire for that. We do have an electric dryer now that's going to go in here, so she'll be able to dry stuff and wash stuff inside, so that'll be cool. And yeah, that's about it for today though. Alright, well, I swept in here before I started, but you wouldn't know it. But after Deacon got back from his therapy, he got those up. You can kind of see the foam up there now. It's starting to expand, so it's pretty cool. It goes on about a ½ inch thick or so when it comes off the roll, and it looks like it takes it ½ an hour or so, and it expands out to 1 inch to cover that gap. So just to show you what exactly it is, you can see right here, right there. So it's this foam, and it's expanding still. I just finished this section up here. There we go. So there was that little gap there that snow had blown in. So this foam covers that to keep the snow out. And rain. I don't know how much rain, but rain doesn't particularly like to move uphill nearly as much as light, fluffy snow does. So I was a little bit short. I've got like, looks like 8 feet or so here above Drake's loft that I have to get one more roll to do, but I do have all the pieces for Drake's loft up here. His carpet's up here. This wall will go down at the end down there. His loft doesn't go all the way to that back wall. That'll be insulated. So yeah, we're not working up here today though, or this week. We are going to next get the insulation in down there at that end that we have left, and we're going to get this bay insulated and hopefully that bay right there, so that we can start running cedar and have a ceiling on this side of the house. We're kind of doing things out of order, yes, I know, but we're doing things that we have materials for and money for. So that's why we did finished floors before we did a ceiling, for example. So anyway, I'm not sure how much more we're going to get done today. I do need to make a little adjustment on that front door as well. But I'm going to clean up in here again and figure out a couple more baffles down at the end. And the baffles are these black plastic things. Let the air move around up there. And let me tell you, up on the, when you get underneath this insulation, you can tell a difference from one side to the other. So that's pretty cool. It's definitely working. Alright, so me and Deacon are to our stopping point today, but we've got all but this bay done. Insulation. Using scab pieces for the end down here. Oh, we got a gap there. We'll have to scab another one in there. I didn't notice that. And then we'll have a couple of scabs that go into these pieces. We started to calculate how much we'll need for the walls next. Because once the walls are done, we can start to do plumbing. And then once plumbing's done, we can move in. So moving right along with this, but that's gonna be all we do today, I think. I'm been off work for 4 days. We had Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off for President's Day, and because we work 410s up at work. So actually I've cooked the last 3 days. Did chicken, grilled some chicken, then I grilled pork chops yesterday, and I'm doing some steaks tonight. So I'm gonna go cook for my wife. Hey guys, so we are getting started on a project that I'm really excited about. So Deacon is in here finishing up the insulation because he's got to patch back in these little pieces that we had cut out for me to put that foam tape in. So he's working on that, and I am out here working on getting this ceiling ready to go in. So we are cutting our cedar trays. The cedar comes from a local plant that makes laminate flooring. So they take cedar, they mill off the pretty used outside edge of it, and then this is what's left over. So these are offcuts. They're all different colors and thicknesses, and they have knots in them, and they just look really cool. Well, we got them for a really good deal here locally. So I got my saw set up over here. Stop on that side to cut the big pieces. Stop on this side to cut my little pieces. And I've got most of this first row cut already. That's gonna go up here. So while Deacon's finishing that up, it is chilly today. You know, it was 76 yesterday was the high, I think. It's like 24 right now. So I have the heater on in here. It's not uncomfortable by any means, but I got my Ryobi nail gun out, and we're going to get to work on getting the ceiling up, see what happens. All right, so we got the first 2 rows up here, and they look really good. Quite happy with how it's turning out. It's got lots of character. So we did leave all the holes and everything. We might come back with, like, I don't know, especially on that one, I might hit some black Sharpie just through the hole where the stud is, because that sticks out really well. But I think once that's covered up, I think we'll be good. I don't want to fill in any of these other holes or anything. So yeah, we got 2 rows done, just a couple more to go, not many. So we're gonna get to it. So I can't express enough how important it is to have this saw stand for projects like this. So using this reclaimed stuff, I have to go through every single one of these boards. So like these, okay, well that's paper thin. Got holes in it. That one had a big old blowout in the middle of it. There's another one in here somewhere, big old blowout too. You know, we got ends like this, and it's like that on the bigger ones too. But having the saw stand, I could set up a cut length and put one on there, check it out, cut it, and move on to the next one really quickly, because I have to look at every one, I can't just throw a stack of them on there and cut them all at once like I'd be able to do with a more conventional product of some sort. But because this is all reclaimed, I have to physically go through every piece, look at it. But we are trucking right along in here. Deacon's started and he's flying through. Actually, he's out of nails. Alrighty guys, well, we didn't get much more done this week. We got a little bit more done. I'm going to show you on the house. Did make some decisions, and yeah. But it's Friday now, and as you can see, we got a ton of sleet. None of this is snow. It's all sleet packed down into this nice ice sheet for the past 2 or 3 days. It hasn't ever been bad enough that I've missed work, so I've been able to go to work every day, thankfully, but it has been frozen. So we had the water off at the street so that the hydrants didn't freeze. And our camper has a 30-gallon freshwater tank that we finally burned through. So I was like, well, let me just see if the hydrants are good. So I turned the water on, and sure enough, we had water. So I've spent the better part of the last last hour or so, going through our water hoses, figure out what actually froze, what's not frozen. This gray hose, which is unfortunate because I just bought it, you know, picking it up, it feels like, oh, there was no water in here. It's great. But yeah, it blew out right there as soon as I put pressure to it. So that stinks. But I was able to get enough hoses cleared out. So it's green hose that actually stays on that hydrant all the time. And then this extendo hose that we use to my adapter to fill our tanks. It's just a cut off old hose. Instead of me buying, they make an adapter that's for filling the tanks. These campers, it can sit down in there or whatever. Yeah, just cut that hose up and put it on there. So I was able to get that enough going on there that I was able to fill the tank. So we'll be able to have some showers and stuff tonight, which will be great. We have burned through a ton of propane. I think we've been through 3 20-pound bottles this week, which is not ideal because they're about $24 a piece to fill, but it's all right. Plan for next week though, it's supposed to be beautiful in the mid to upper 70s last few days of next week, is I'm going to pull the electrical outlet off of that building for the camper and move it over here to the house. And then we're going to move the camper over here. I don't know if it's going to go here in front, if it's going to go, I want to put it here, backed up pretty close to this tree line if I can get it, but it's a pretty decent slope there. So if I can get it leveled there, which I don't think I'll be able to, we'll go there. But otherwise we'll probably have to either be there or back here on this corner where my wife's garden's going will be where we have to be, or we might go in front of the house. I guess that could be an option. I haven't looked there. Let's walk over there. Luna's excited because she can come outside and play today with somebody. Nobody's been outside with her all week, so yeah, in front of the house might be an option. It's pretty flat. So we got to look at that, but we do know that at the end of next week we are moving the camper off the shop power over here to the house, and I will just have to haul my black water back to that septic system to dump it in my little 23-gallon Rhino tank. It's not the end of the world. I got my car over there warming up because I do have to pull it up front and air up one of my tires. I got a nail in, and this cold weather, it deflates pretty quick. So we did get a little bit more sealing done since the last clip I took. It looks phenomenal. Love it. We are going to have to get more, we've decided. Not sure how much, so we're going to make our way all the way across, and then we'll figure out how much more we need. We originally wanted to run it into the loft as well, but we may not end up doing that because we also have to do the bedroom still. So, yeah. The plant's kind of not super excited the cold, but they're not dead, so that's cool. And that's going to about do it. I'm going to go and get my tire aired up and make some lunch for me and Drake and get ready for work. I just kind of wanted to update you guys on the fun of living in an RV in the cold and what we got done on the house. So anyway, thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.